Hello mga students, good morning, good afternoon, good evening sa inyong lahat. So let us have a recording of this topic on capital budgeting. For this video lecture, we will be talking about the capital budgeting techniques. No? Specifically, itong mga makikita nyo po dito, yung payback period, followed by the net present value method, and NPV in relation sa profitability index and NPV in relation sa EVA, yung economic value added. And lastly, a discussion on the internal rate of return or yung tinatawag po natin na IRR. Okay? So, just a brief overview of the capital budgeting. Pag sinabi po natin at pag pinag-uusapan po natin yung capital budgeting, we are talking about long-term investments here and wherein the amount involved is huge, malaki. Okay? And kadalasan po, by capital budgeting, we are talking about capital expenditures on long-term assets, mga items of property, plant, and equipment. Okay. So pag sinabi po natin na capital budgeting, this is the process of evaluating. So pag-select, pag-evaluate and pag-select ng long-term investments that are consistent with the with the goal of the firm, which is to maximize the owner's wealth. Now, you will be encountering two types of expenditure. And syempre, for the purpose of our discussion, we are talking about capital expenditures, no? Pero meron din kasi tayong tinatawag na operating expenditures. And these are short-term in nature. So, parehas po ito. Whether mapa-capital or operating expenditure ka, both expenditures need an outlay of funds. Maglalabas ka. Okay? That syempre, maglalabas ka ng pera, ng pondo, ng economic resources with an expectation that you will benefit from it over a period of time. Pag short term, yung operating expenditure, ito ay within 1 year. But if you're expecting a greater, a longer, enjoyment of the benefits produced by that outlay of funds, no, and this is greater than 1 year, we are talking about capital expenditure. Now, just to give you an idea of the capital budgeting process, syempre, for purposes of problem solving, nandito tayo sa number 2 and partly sa number 3. But it all starts with the proposal generation. Okay? Within the company, there will be a proposal. They will be suggesting that we will be investing on or we will be capitalizing on this project, on that project, on this expenditure, on that one. Pero syempre, hindi naman po pwede na basta-basta na lang magde-decide. Kailangan po natin ng supporting computations. So dito papasok yung review and analysis. If you are proposing a project, if you are proposing an investment requiring a huge amount of money, and that is usually beyond the power of any manager, na kinakailangan pa po ng desisyon ng board of directors. So, syempre, dapat supported ng maayos yung proposal na yon. So dito may mga FS tayo na projections. Okay, and how does it benefit the company? Okay, and in relation to the threshold, to the benchmark, to the cost of capital, not the expected returns that the company has set, are we will that proposal be beneficial to the company as well or acceptable ba yun? Kasi pagdating dito sa review and analysis, they will check the pros and cons, especially pag madami yan. And then pagdating dito sa decision making, accept or reject lang naman yan eh. Kung reject, pwedeng reject because you have to modify it first or totally reject because the idea is not good. And then once the proposal is accepted, there comes the implementation and later on follow-up. Okay? So that is the capital budgeting process. Now, sabi natin na meron po tayong iba't ibang capital budgeting techniques. You have your payback period, the net present value, and your internal rate of return. Previously, we have talked about the expected rate of return. How do we compute the rate of return? And then also, a few meetings back, we talked about the cost of capital. And then we have a comparison of the ERR, cost of capital, when there are investment opportunities within the pipeline or that requires attention and decision. So, yung expected return mo, mas malaki pa siya sa cost of capital mo if the benefit outweighs the cost. O bakit hindi? No, if it will be beneficial to the company. Now, for capital budgeting, uh, let us consider this various techniques and how do we relate this to our previous topics. Tingnan po natin as we go along. Pag-usapan po natin yung payback period. Ang payback period is a simpler approach, a simpler technique na kung saan hindi po natin tinitake into consideration yung time value of money. Mas straightforward po ito. And when we are talking about payback period, ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito is gaano katagal bago babalik sa atin yung investment or yung nilabas po natin na pera. At sabi po natin, if this disregards the time value of money, wala po tayong present value computation dito. So, pa-take note class, when we are talking about the payback period, we do not do some present value computations. We are just simply, multiplying something, kung ano po yung mga amounts na nakikita po natin, without discounting it. This is the payback period now is the amount of time required for the firm. So we are talking about the time, okay? Number of years, usually. The amount of time required to recover yung initial investment natin on the basis of the expected cash inflows. Okay, ito po yung ating decision guide dyan, and I should have been highlighting this in a separate para na-emphasize ito. So, when we are using the payback period in deciding whether to accept or reject a project or a proposal, titignan po natin yung na-compute ba na payback period ng isang project or proposal na yon or investment opportunity na yon ay mas mababa or mas malaki doon sa acceptable payback period. Kasi halimbawa, kung ang tinatanggap ni company na dapat kung mag-i-invest man tayo or may tatanggapin man tayo mga projects or investment opportunities, ang balik dapat sa atin, for capital expenditures, ang balik dapat sa atin ito ay within 5 years. So kung mas mabilis bumalik yung return, yung nilabas natin na pera, if mas mabilis siya doon sa sinet natin na 5 years, edi mas mabuti. Pero kung mas matagal pa doon sa sinet natin na standard, edi maybe we have to look into some other opportunities. So, ang guide natin mga kapatid pagdating sa payback period is this. Mas maiksi, mas mabuti. So, the shorter the payback period, the better it is. Okay. Now, take for instance, these two projects, You have project A. Ang initial outflow, maglalabas siya, ng 42,000. But within 5 years, ang expectation po niya is that merong balik ito sa atin na 14,000 evenly. 14,000 taon-taon. Okay. Samantala, etong project B, ang unang lalabas, ang labas na pera may palabas na 45,000. Pero uneven yung return, yung balik, yung inflow of cash, 28, 12, 10, 10, 10. Okay, so hindi sila evenly, hindi pare-parehas. If you are to decide ano ang pipiliin mo between Project A and Project B, at kung titignan po natin at ang gagamitin po natin na basis ay payback period, alin dito ang mas maiksi? Okay, yung balik sa atin. Kasi sabi natin, the shorter, the better. Okay, so papaano yon? Kung sa Project A, 42,000 ang labas mo, gaano katagal bago bumalik ito sa iyo na 42,000? Kung first year, meron kang 14,000. Kung sa second year, meron kang another 14,000. Pag pinagsama mo yan, magkano na yan? Meron kang 28,000. Pag inad mo yung balik sa iyo sa third year, you have another 14,000. Pag pinagsama mo itong tatlo, 14, 14, 14 or 14 times 3, magkano yon? 42. So, ibig sabihin, yung nilabas mo na 42,000, ang balik nito sa iyo ay ayan, after 3 years. So, dito, ang payback natin ay 3 taon. Nakukuha po ba? So, this is our payback. Dito po yung sagot natin. For Project B, na uneven yung yung balik, uneven yung return. On the first year, out of the 45,000, may malaking balik sa'yo amounting to 28,000. Pagdating ng second year, may additional 12,000. On the second year na alone, ang balik na sa iyo ay 40,000. Kulang ka pa ng 5,000. Kasi 45 ang total na outflow mo. So, ibig sabihin, kung 10,000 ang balik sa iyo on the third year, at by the end of the third year, nasa 50,000 na yan. So, yung balik sa'yo, yung payback period is between the second year and the third year. Now, since naka 40,000 ka na po dito sa first and second year combined, tapos 45 yung kailangan mo, pero for the third year, 10,000. So, parang sinasabi natin, 5/10. Kung sa isang taon, meron kang 12 months, ano yung 5/10? Yan yung kalahati. Therefore, ang payback period ng Project B ay ito na 2 years and 6 months. Nakukuha po ba? O bakit payback? Kung sobra, no? May nakita na naman si Sir na mali. Okay. So, if we are to decide which is better, mas better, no? Yung ating, ayan, ayan, somewhere dito, meron tayong balik. Lagyan na nga natin, ng shape. Okay. Ang balik natin is somewhere here in the middle. Okay? Ayan. Nandirito. Hindi ko lang makulayan. Kasi nga, isang cell lang po ito. Pero nandito yung balik sa atin. Okay? Second year and 2 years and 6 months. So, we will decide on the basis alone of the payback period, Project B ang pipiliin. Okay po. Now, let us consider these illustrations below. Let us begin with illustration 1 followed by illustration 2. We have ABC. Okay, so ABC is considering investing 50,000 to obtain a 10% interest in rental property. Okay? So mag-i-invest ka 50,000 para makapag-obtain ka ng 10%. So parang 10% ownership sa isang rental property. Ang estimate ni Abby is that makatatanggap siya ng around 6,000 to 7,000 annually. So wala po tayong dito na fix. Basta somewhere between 6,000 to 7,500. Yun yung matatanggap mo taon-taon. Ang deal requires that ABC, together with the other investors, should maintain their investment for a minimum of 7 years. So, ang sinasabi dito, wala munang labasan, pull out ng kanilang investment within 7 years. After 7 years, kung ayaw mo na, pwede ka nang umexit. Pero dapat nandiyan ka within 7 years. Ang gusto ni Abby personally is that yung payback sa kanya ay hindi lalagpas ng 6 na taon. And it should be after tax na para acceptable yung desisyon niya kung sakaling tatanggapin niya po itong opportunity na ito. Okay, now assuming that the tax rate is 25%, let us help Abby decide whether to accept or reject the proposal. And how do we do that? Here is your solution. Ang pre-tax annual return mo, okay? O paano yon? Bakit? Ano tong 10,000? Ano tong 12,000? Okay? Whereas the after tax is, sorry, minodify po pala natin ito, no? Okay. Ah, sorry hindi ko po napansin. Ayan, buti na lamang po. So, yung pre-tax, no? Okay? This is your pre-tax, ha? May modification pala. Ginawa po natin itong 10,000. Ayan. Forgive me for the error. But let us update, no? The estimate is that Abby will be receiving between 10,000 to 12,000 annually. So this is your pre-tax annual return. Okay. Annual return ha. Yung balik, yung return sa'yo is the 10,000 to 12,000. If your return is 10,000 and there is a tax shield, okay, and there is a tax rate, therefore, the net of tax that you will be receiving is 7,500. 10,000 times 25%. Tanggalin natin yon. Ang matatanggap mo ay 7,500. Okay? For 12,000, kung sakali man, the maximum, 9,000 ang after tax. So, 12,000 times 75%. Pag tinanggal natin, no, yung 25%. Okay, so meron kang 7,500, meron kang 9,000. Okay, do we need to average? No, no. We just compute them separately. If your investment is 50,000, paano yung payback period mo for a 10,000 return? Okay, and we have to consider yung after tax yung kailangan. So, paano to? We will divide 50,000. Tingnan niyo ito ha. Ito yung 50,000 numerator mo. I-divide natin dito sa 7,000 after tax annual return. So, anong sinasabi dito sa atin? Kung ang taon-taon ang matatanggap po natin ay 10,000, okay? Ang balik po nito sa atin ay 6.67 years. So, 6 and 2/3. So, paano yon? 6 years, tapos 2/3. Tama ba? 6.67, di ba? 6 or 2/3 ng 12 months is 8 months ba? Let me know. Kindly correct me. Correct me. So, 6 years and 8 months. Pag ginawa po natin yan dito sa higher end, kung 12,000 ang pre-tax, ang after-tax na annual return ay 9,000, no, 50,000 yung required na investment na outright, no? Mababawi natin yung 50,000 kung taon-taon may 9,000 na pumapasok within 5 years, no? More than 5 years and 6 months. So, may butal tayo dito, no? So, ibig sabihin, it's somewhere between 5 years and 6 months to 6 years and 8 months. Is this acceptable? Yes or no? Because we need to help Abby decide. Tatanggapin ba natin yung proposal na ito or i-reject? Plus, unfortunately, since this is a range, pwedeng makuha natin ito na 5.56 o hindi natin makuha yun at the worst, no? Worst ba? At the least, at the very least, 6 years and 8 months. Dito sa 6 years and 8 months, lagpas ito sa minimum requirement ng payback ni Abby na 6 na taon lang. So, while this is good, yung sa higher end, pero yung lower end, hindi. So, maybe, Abby will have to reject the proposal because medyo alanganin kasi yan. Pag in-average mo to 6.11, lagpas pa rin sa 6 unless meron siyang ano 'no, grace, anong tawag nito, meron siyang, certain, nakalimutan ko tuloy yung term 'no. So, sabihin mo 8 months lang naman at the most. Sige, puwede ko ng tanggapin yon ano, puwede ko ng i-consider yon. Okay. So, yun ano class, for illustration number 1. How about illustration number 2? Tignan po ninyo ito. So, si ABC, being a software developer company, meron siyang dalawang opportunities for investment na tinitignan. Si Project A at saka si Project B. Ang initial investment parehas ay 20,000. Tapos eto naman yung balik sa kanila. For Project A, okay, mababalik agad 'no, ang 20,000 after 2 years. So dito pa lang bawi ka na, 2 years ang payback period. Samantalang dito, okay, 2 years and a half. Kasi on the second year, 17,500. Tapos on the third year, plus 5. So kalahati ng 5,000 to 5. So it's 2 years and 6 months. So ito idamay ko na ha. Kung gagawa ako dito ng linya-linya, copy na lang natin ito. Baliktarin ko na lang. So this is 2 year. Ayan, lagay ko dito ano. So sa ano na ito? Sa line na yan. So 2 years and 6 months. So kung ang pinag-uusapan natin is the payback period, mas okay si Project A. Kasi 2 years no as compared sa 2 years and 6 months. Yun nga lang mga kapatid, may limitation tayo dyan. No? Kasi pansinin mo, no, and this is emphasized by the second illustration. And let me highlight on this. Malakihin ko para mas kita. Okay? Parehas okay yung projects, di ba? Kasi in terms of the total, 27. In terms of project base total, 28,500. Pero kung titignan mo yung payback period, pipiliin mo yung mas mabilis ang balik sa'yo, which is Project A. Yun nga lang, anong limitation natin sa payback period? It fails to see the effect of the return on the subsequent years after the payback period. Like in this case, kung payback ang pinag-uusapan natin, pipiliin ko si Project B, si Project A. Pero in terms of the total return, 28,500 is 1,500 greater than 27. And if we are talking about the total return, mas okay yung Project B kasi mas malaki ang mabe-benefit natin doon. So that is a limitation of payback period because it fails to account for the returns on succeeding periods. Okay? So take note, no, the use of payback period does not consider the cash inflow beyond the payback period. And in this case, on the basis alone of the payback period, pipiliin niya yung project. Okay? So, yan ano, class, presentation and discussion and illustration ng ating payback period. And in the interest of focus, let me just end the session here. Okay? And discuss separately on another recording a discussion on the net present value and probably your internal rate of return. But for now, let me end my discussion, okay, limiting my discussion on the payback period. So let me know if you have any questions, but I hope nakatulong po itong aking recording para maintindihan po ninyo itong topic natin on the payback period. So yan po, hanggang sa muli. Maraming salamat. I'll see you on the next video lecture. Bye-bye.